It's episode 42 of the Under Seasoned podcast.
It is, mate. The barbecue show just keeps on rolling. We haven't lost too many followers with the ongoing top 50 list. And who's bringing it in today?
Yes, let's watch. We ready?
Hello, I'm Julia Carvalho, a barbecue chef from Brazil, and you're watching Under Seasoned BBQ show.
That's awesome, hey?
Hell yeah, mate. All the way from Brazil.
Yes, so Julia Carvalho, she's a very respected pitmaster out of Brazil. She has 250,000 followers on Instagram. So a big thanks to her for doing the intro this week. And she is a legit pitmaster.
Yeah, she knows a way around a fire, that's for sure.
Yeah. And they do some crazy stuff over in Brazil. So she's hanging with the boys and showing them how it's done.
Fucking oath.
All right, let's get on with it. And what is in this episode?
Mate, we have the triumphant return of Failed or Nailed. We've got a dashboard steak. Dishes of the week this time round is only from what people have sent us in the DMs, and we're also cracking into the top 40 of your notorious list.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get in trouble, I feel.
Mate, we're going to keep on rolling, baby.
All right, I'm going to play this first one. It's our fuck up of the week. So we're going to do this one a little bit different this week, and I'm going to get you to narrate what's happening over the top of their own narration of what's happening. You ready?
Okay. Righto, we've got some pretty inexperienced guys on the grill there by the look of it. There's a bit of a fat fire going on there underneath. What did he just throw on there?
Beer, Corona.
It did not put it out, but yeah, he's holding the rack of ribs over the flame, working on that bark, and that's more than just LPG in the go there, but fuck, you better hurry, mate. Oh, he's lost the rack. Is that another rack of ribs or is that a big side of beef? He thinks he's killing it, though. That's the thing. They don't see anything wrong here. No, mate, flames is good. Starting to get a bit smoky now. I think he sort of noticed the misso's here.
They're in trouble.
What's happening?
The wife's noticed.
He hasn't put his beer down the whole time. Pull your shorts up, mate.
All right. Let's go through, if you can't see this at home, what people are looking at. And this is a 4-burner gas barbecue, and everything on this barbecue is on fire. And they don't seem to be under any sense of urgency to get the meat off at all.
I think this is their first time manning the grill, bro, because he sort of comes over to the camera as if to be like, fuck yeah, can you see this? Like, we're killing while we're grilling, bro.
But he's burnt the shit out of absolutely everything on that. That's not going to be edible.
The top
barbecue.
rack is on fire. There's that much fat on it.
And the girlfriend or the wife, she's come across and she's livid and she's got the shits because while they've been trying to fix this barbecue, he has insisted on holding his beer in his hand the entire time and he really doesn't have the dexterity to be able to do anything because he's too busy holding his beer.
Yeah, that's it.
But this is shot. It's gone.
It is. Those pork ribs, they can't be saved. I mean,
it looks like wings on the bottom there.
Yeah, the wings are going to be crispy and raw. The old classic burnt raw, mate.
Anyway, good fun. He thought he was killing it.
That's it. The punters in the background don't look too alarmed, so it's still going to be a good party.
So it was posted by OD James Ellis, and he says the funniest moment from yesterday had to be the Biggie 6 on the grill. So Biggie 6 was in charge of that grill.
Biggie 6 is one and done, I think.
He won't be in charge of the grill anymore. They've just retired him, I think. Everything's burnt.
Everything's fucked.
All right, let's move on to some good food.
Fucking oath, let's go.
Rightio, dishes of the week.
Yum.
Oh, that looks good, doesn't it?
So good.
So this one was sent in to us by Andy Craig, and he's from Fugazi Pizza, based in Victoria, Australia. He says, "G'day, fellas. Absolutely loving the podcast. I watch it religiously every week. Thought I'd finally muster up the guts to send something in."
What have you been waiting for, bro?
I don't know, because visually that looks amazing.
So good.
So you've got to bear with me because there's a lot of big words in this description here, right? But this is a brisket pie with a bechamel base. It's got smoked scamorza, which is an Italian cheese. It's got 12-hour smoked brisket, house-made chili crisp, and it's finished with a grana padano, which is, I think, similar to like a Parmigiano Reggiano, and it's also topped with spring onions.
So fucking good.
Do you know what he said about it?
What?
He said, "This one was absolutely off its dick."
Sick. You're speaking my language.
It looks fantastic though, doesn't it?
Looks unreal, mate.
He's got
Yeah,
all the
nice.
right char around the outside of that pizza to complement the brisket on the top, and then the chili crisp and the cheeses. It's money.
Very evenly cooked too.
All right, and just to prove that this wasn't a one-trick wonder, he sent us in another one, and this one's a buffalo chicken pizza. He says, we used a San Marzano and Frank's red hot sauce base. So I think he's combined the two sauces together. He's loaded it with 4 delati, which I think is a soft mozzarella. Then he's pickle brined smoked chicken thighs. So I think he's got his chicken thighs, pickle brined them, then smoked them. And then he's hit it with a Gorgonzola ranch drizzle and then shaved over the top a heap of pecorino romano to finish.
Fuck yes.
That's all the things,
It's
right?
all the things, but it's all going to work.
Well, he says, I was pretty surprised at how well this one turned out. I don't think there's anything to be surprised about.
No, he's done the work early too. You know, he's actually done a good job on smoking and brining his chicken, because quite often you get a chicken on a pizza and it's just textural. It just loses its flavour. But this is going to slap.
Yeah, and little things like adding like a really quality tomato base, but then mixing it with a bit of Frank's red hot sauce. I think those little touches make a difference, right?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
So well done. Thank you for sending that in. Send in more because,
Send in
bro,
more.
don't be embarrassed because this is as good as it gets.
Fuck yeah.
All right, next.
Yes.
You're into it?
Fucking oath, I'm into it. That's a smoked corn silverside.
Yeah, so Jack Prindable, he sent this one in and he says, rate my Reuben sandwich. It's smoked corned silverside for 8 hours at 275 F and then toasted on sourdough bread with sauerkraut, Swiss cheese and a Russian dressing.
Fucking so good, bro.
You said you didn't like sourdough on sandwiches.
Yeah,
Are you going to make an exception here?
No, fuck sourdough, but, you know, I'm not going to, it might be his choice.
Well, I would say sourdough is perfect for a sandwich like this.
I'm heading more towards some rye bread myself to make it more of a Reuben.
Oh, you're going down the Cat's Deli route, hey?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd smash this. I think the sourdough is perfect with this dish, and I think he's done a pretty good job.
Done a real good job. On you, mate.
Well done. Thanks, Jack, for sending that one in. Now, this one has got a bit of a twist to it. Are you ready?
Yes.
What are we looking at?
We're looking at first glance, what looks like a nice, girthy pizza.
Yeah, but it's a bit thicker. It's a bit more meatier.
It is, mate. It's a pizza made out of sausage.
So it was sent in by a good friend of ours. His name is Sausage. He's from the UK. He's one of the best sausage makers out there. He said, I've been dying to cook some sausages in the Gosney. This experiment turned out better than I expected. It did take a while to cook though, but definitely an addition to a base that I would do again. So it looks like a sausage wrapped in a circle, which goes right around like a ballwurst, I would say. And then he's topped it with pizza ingredients and then cooked it in the Gosney.
So fucking good. Wonder what sort of sausage he used.
This is where it gets interesting, right? So I'm going to say this. You try and interpret it. Ready? This is a pizza sausage pizza.
He's made a pizza-flavoured sausage and then he's turned said sausage into a pizza.
That's exactly what he's done.
Fuck yeah.
So the sausage is pizza too.
Yeah.
So it's a sausage pizza.
It's insane. I love it.
It's crazy, isn't
It's
it?
so good.
All right. Well, he's done pretty good and he's cooked it in the Gosney.
Yeah, fucking oath he has. I wonder how many trials he had to do though.
Well, I'm going to say, judging by the little bit of char that's sitting on the outside of the sausage there, that he probably had to regulate the temperature right down to cook the sausage through because those things run hot. Right? They're cooking pizzas in less than 60 seconds. So my assumption would be that he had to turn it right down and leave it in there for some time.
Hence having the tray too to stop that stone cooking it too violently from the bottom.
Yeah, true that too. But he did good.
Fuck yeah, he did.
All right, next. So this is a bit of a different one. I am going to play you a video. It was sent in to us by Bulls Cooking. Now, I'm going to play it, and I want you to talk me through what's happening from start to finish and then give me kind of like your overall impression when he presents the dish.
Let's go. Measuring something out there. Looks like a bit of salt. He's got a beautiful big marble score 9 brisket there that he's going to trim up beautifully. Probably going to put that fat to the side, render it down to some lovely tallow. It's a nice looking bit of brisket though.
It's got a great green through it.
Yeah. Good size, not bad. Right, so he's got himself a nice big fucking brisket-sized plastic container, which is obviously he's put all these brine ingredients in. And yeah, he's fucking soaked that brisket for don't know how long. He's binded it with some mustard, hit it with some more seasoning, and he's got fucking good-looking pastrami. Oh, How's that fat cap still on there and it's rendered beautifully, bro?
Yeah. The good thing about when you go to Katz's Deli is they still do leave a fair bit of fat on, which is a little bit of a no-no in barbecue, especially Texas barbecue, but it fits here perfectly.
It just holds together like a brisket would too. So, yeah, brisket pastrami, baby.
So he brined it in what looked to be like a salt and peppercorns, and then he has hit it with a little bit of mustard and a rub. Then he smoked it like a normal brisket, and the results are stunning.
Yeah, I wonder what we put in there because it penetrated really well. Like it's cured that meat nicely.
Maybe he's just left it in that brine for a long time.
Yeah. He must have had like some cloves and some peppercorns and that sort of thing in there too.
But he's cutting what is, the flat of the brisket, and it looks as juicy can be, which is pretty unusual for that part of the brisket.
That's it. And I mean, he's using just a regular kitchen knife too and not tearing it, so he's doing well.
Well, that looks fantastic. Congratulations, Bull's Cooking. He says, rate my pastrami. That was the message. That was it. He sent me this video and rate my pastrami. No other context. We had to guess the rest of it. How do you rate it?
Fucking 6 points, mate. Straight through the middle of the big sticks.
Well done. He's done a great job. Okay, next one here. It's from River West. Now, he's from Ribs Smoked Snacks on Instagram, and he sent this one in. He said, I saw this online, so he's not claiming credit for it, but he said, I had to have a go myself. I would like to hear your expert opinion on it. It's a meat donut. Ready?
Sick. I think Ribs over there in West Oz, so I'm excited to see this. So righto, he's got the mince and the cheese and the hardcore seasoning. Oh yeah, he's segmented the onion, yeah, which is going to hold it all together beautifully. Wrapped it in bacon, hit it with some more rub, glazing it as he smokes it, and that is a fucking Carnivore's donut, isn't it?
It looks like a donut too.
So good.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
He's going to have to wash
So he's
his
got
mustache.
mince, cheese, rub. Then he's cut the cylinders out of onions,
Nice big brown onions, and then fed
Filled
the
the
mince
topping.
in there to hold it together.
wrapped it in bacon, hit it
How
with
do you
rub
reckon
again.
these would go crumbed and fried, bro?
Probably pretty good.
So good. The fat boy's coming out. He's got the party shirt on. He's kept it relatively clean. That mustache needs a wipe now, though.
But a pretty simple little recipe and a bit of fun.
What do you mean simple? There's that many fucking...
There's 6 ingredients there, bro.
Yeah, there's 6 ingredients, but the technique to get it all assembled is pretty fucking... It's definitely not something you're just going to get your kids to make.
No, the kids might not be able to make it, but I think it's a relatively simple recipe. Mince, cheese, rub, onion, sauce. It doesn't look like it's that challenging. You reckon it's hard?
I reckon there's a few technical elements involved.
I don't know. I haven't seen the original video to know how close he got to the original, but that looks great to me.
Fuck yeah.
It looks like a proper donut, doesn't it?
Fucking oath it does,
Donut.
yeah. You could almost hit it at the end after it's come out there with some brown sugar and a blowtorch and almost creme brulee it.
That would be pretty cool. And when you crack it,
Extra
it would snap.
crunch.
Oh, yeah. I like the sound of that. All right, we're getting carried away. All right.
Bit of a bonus.
So as a bonus, he sent us in this one. It's a fried chicken burger. Now, the thing that's different about this is it's got a mashed potato base on the bun, and then it's topped with gravy and bacon.
All the best parts of KFC on one burger.
Looks a bit like a KFC burger, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
But that fucking bacon does not look cooked properly.
It needs a bit more time in there, doesn't
It's
it?
microwave bacon.
Yeah. And then he's hit it with the old gravy slop reveal. I like it.
I've got to say, look,
It's a knife and fork job for sure.
yeah, look, the gravy reveal is stunning, of course, but it does make it a little bit challenging to eat.
Definitely does. And I would fucking smash that Dr. Pepper. I love it. Also from Waco, Texas.
Waco, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Another reason to go to Texas.
He says, super messy, but worth it for the epic taste.
Fuck yeah.
All right, thanks for sending those in. And last but not least is this birria pizza. So it was sent in to us by Gus Face Griller. Now, he's a really talented pitmaster out of Perth in Australia. And he says, had leftover materials from a queso birria taco adventure, so utilised it for this pizza. So he's obviously made another dish. He's had some leftover and he's made himself a birria pizza. What's your thoughts?
Fucking looks good. West Coast representing this time round.
Part of me was like, it looks floppy. It looks
Yeah.
like you're going to pick that pizza up and all those toppings are going to fall off. But
Don't come to Jay if you're going to flop.
don't bring me no floppy pizzas, right? If I lift that edge of that pizza and it flops and all the shit falls off, it's a fail.
You'll
right?
still eat it though.
Of course I will. But having said that, he sent us a video. There's no flop here, bro.
Fuck no.
There's no flop. He dunked it in the sauce and it still doesn't flop.
Sick.
That's a win.
That's a real win. He's been doing his homework on you. Did he do it in the dryer this time?
No, well, this is the same guy that cooked the pizza in the dryer the other week. I don't think he's cooked this pizza in the dryer. He says more pizza should have something to dip in. That's what he says. Cooked on the uni. So I think what he's trying to say is dipping pizzas in sauces is a good idea.
Fuck yeah, it is.
What a combo.
Hell yeah.
He's a talented boy, hey.
Fucking oath he is.
We're going to feature him next week, for sure. I promise
sure.
you. Because this guy is
In the top 50?
No, he's not in the top 50.
Sorry, Gus.
No, he doesn't feature in the top 50, but I do think he's doing some amazing things. And I'm going to go find some really cool videos of his food to prove to you a couple of things. One, that he invented the barbecue grazing table. And if you wonder what that is, I'm going to show you next week.
Stay tuned.
Rightio. Oh, this is a good opportunity. Before we segue into failed or nailed, give us a like. So if you got this far in the video, give us a like, press the like button, hit us with a subscribe, a share, a fucking comment, anything. Just take the time out right now to just do something, right? What's that meme where the guy's got the little stick and he's just trying to fucking hit the thing on the ground?
Do
something, okay?
Also, too, this is a great time to present that Born Dry, now fully back in stock. And if you use the code UNDER10 on our website at the checkout, you get 10% off everything just because you watch the Under Seasoned BBQ show.
It's fucking awesome too, by the way.
Fucking good stuff, eh?
It's great, right? If you're on paleo, if you're on carnivore and you want a soft drink, this is it. This is your new thing.
Or even if you aren't in on those things, just drink something healthier.
Yeah, exactly. So
Get on board.
drop the sugar.
Fucking oath.
And then don't be conned by the drinks that have fake sugar in them either. They're just
exactly
bad
right.
for you. Okay, moving on. Failed or nailed. Have we done this one for a little while?
No, it's been about 3 weeks off, I think, mate.
It has. It has. All right. I'm going to throw some curly ones at you.
Oh, shit.
You ready?
Fucking oath. Let's go.
No.
Nailed. It's pizza you're going to see twice.
Okay. I just got that.
J. Fortnight Beaumont.
Okay. I literally just got it. I think if you look back at the camera angle, there was a moment in time where you can see my little head tick over and I'm like, oh, it's like 5 seconds of delay between when I got that joke, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this one was posted by Joe's Rotisserias and it's a pizza joint in New Jersey and this is an elote slice. And what we're looking at here is a pizza slice which looks to have some sort of like Mexican feta cheese type thing and it is covered in corn.
The old street corn adaptation of pizza.
That's what it is, right? It's a
Fucking oath
street
it
corn
is.
pizza.
Like some more char on that corn though, personally, but it's still a win.
Yeah, he should have charred the corn first, right? Or he might have thought the pizza oven would do the trick, but it hasn't.
Oh, you could just blowtorch it quickly.
Put a bit of lemon on it, eat it, I would.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, this next one is a bit of a 2-for-1. So you've kind of got to like wait to see the second one before you give it the review.
Let's go.
That's the first one. Keep it in your head. Ready? Next one.
Nailed.
Okay, tell me why.
It's brisket and short ribs.
It looks kind of a little different though to a normal brisket.
It does. It looks a touch dry, but it still looks moist. It's weird.
Okay, so it was posted by Sinkagu on Reddit, and he says, brisket and plate ribs turned out pretty well for my first time. So not bad for a first time, right?
Better than mine.
The brisket got to 175F within the first 6 hours, but had no bark for the first 13 hours. He says, I removed the water pan after that and it fixed the issue. It stalled at 180 and it took overall 22 hours to cook at 230F.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy, right? I think, judging by he's got it sitting on an oven here, I think he cooked this in the oven. I don't think he cooked this in a smoker. So I think he's put it in the oven at 230F. It has basically taken 6 hours really quickly to get to 175. But then after that, it was another 16, 17, 18 hours of just a really slow cook from 175 to get it to 203.
Fucking hell. That is a long time.
Yeah, but he did say he couldn't get any bark on it until he took out the water pan. So there's a lesson there maybe in that. He says the plate ribs were easier, 230F for 8 hours and no issues besides a bit of mid-bark. That's what he calls it. So he's been pretty honest
Yeah, it does
about
still
the
look a
bark.
bit wet, but fuck.
It looks a bit weird, the bark. Something about it doesn't quite look right to me, but let's keep looking here. This is the end result.
Yeah, there's no smoke ring there for something that's been in for 22 hours, is there? So I reckon you're right on the oven call, but fucking head and shoulders above anything I've seen for a first brisket on my experience.
Yeah, so I think he has. I think he's used an oven, but to be honest, it's pretty bang on internally for what he's done for a first time. Like, if I cooked this for my first time, I'd be stoked with this result.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks tender as, right? If anything, it looks like it's a little bit over, but hey, it's better than it being under.
How do you reckon brisket not smoked would taste, though?
Okay, so his family, who ate it, we didn't, right, said that it was so tender they couldn't tell what was fat and what was meat. I think the smoke in barbecue is what defines barbecue. I don't necessarily think that if you cook it in an oven, you can still get the texture right, but if you're missing the smokiness, it's not really barbecue. So I'm sure, like, texturally it was great, but I think flavour-wise, I'm sure it was good too, but it could have been great, I think, if it was cooked in a smoker.
Yep.
These are the beef ribs too, and I think the texture of those looks spot on as well.
Yeah, but once again, missing that smoke ring. But yeah, texturally, they look fucking great.
Yeah. So I did look up a little bit because he said he had trouble with the bark. I didn't really appreciate or understand this, but smoke goes a long way to producing the bark that we kind of take for granted in barbecue. And without the smoke, it's a lot harder to get bark. You can't just put a rub on meat and put it in the oven and expect to get the same sort of bark.
It's true.
But texturally, he's done great.
Fucking science.
Yeah. I just think it's going to miss that smoky flavour.
100%.
All right. Let's keep moving on.
Nailed.
You didn't take long.
Fuck no, look how good it is.
So this one was posted by Little Dynamite Pizza in California. No caption, just the photo.
That'd be worth shitting my pants for.
So it looks like a half and half, with the only difference being there's a lot of pepperoni on one side of this pizza. But the only way I can describe this for people is lots of cheese, lots of jalapeno, lots of pepperoni.
Fuck yeah, and a beautiful looking crust.
Yeah, it's a really well-cooked pizza. It's got a big shaving of sort of like Parmesan cheese all over the top of it. But it's a fantastic-looking pie. It looks cooked to perfection. And I don't know if that's too much jalapeno, but I would give it a red-hot crack.
Fucking oath.
All right, there's a bonus one too here. So this is from the same place, Little Dynamite Pizza, and this is the Day Drinker.
Yeah, right.
So it's a vodka sauce, confit cherry tomatoes, fresh garlic, fresh mozzarella, fresh parmesan, and basil.
So good.
That sounds pretty cool, hey?
It's like a drunk margarita.
It does. But a good-looking pie.
Fuck yeah.
So Little Dynamite Pizza. Well done.
Hell yeah.
Next, last one.
Nailed.
Kane Swan, he sent this one into us on Instagram. He says, first attempt at pork belly, burnt ends, nailed or failed? He wants to know.
Fucking nailed, bro.
He says, to be honest, they tasted pretty bloody awesome.
That's all that matters.
So lots of first-timers sending stuff into us, yeah?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Keep it going.
You can tell how squishy they are just from looking at that photo, right?
Yeah, the fat's rendered down beautifully. They've started to get that bit of shrinkage going on, and yeah, good sauce to butter ratio going on there, and it's going to be a good time.
It's going to get messy.
Go for a run afterwards, though.
All right, well done, Kane Swan. Thank you for sending that one into us, right?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, you've got some fancy-looking podcasting equipment over there. That qualifies you for another segment of Rate My Barbecue.
It's it. Somehow I've front flipped my way into this position. I've been dragged out from under the bus and put in an executive role of being a barbecue expert.
All right, now people are sending these into us. Please know that we are not rating people's barbecue off on a whim, right? We might discuss it, we might talk about it, but if you want a rating, you got to send it in, right? We're not going to bag anyone's barbecue without them at least knowing what they're in for. And I've got to say, if you do send your barbecue in, you might not get a good rating, okay? Like, I feel like our honesty is all we've got going for us.
That's exactly right. And whatever we say, take it to heart, because we are the governing body when it comes to what is good and not good barbecue.
We are the UCBS, the Under Seasoned or whatever, the USBCS. How are we going to do that one?
We need the word BS in this. We need the letters BS in there somewhere.
All right, we're going to work on that one. We need a logo too.
We do.
We're going to make a logo up.
You'll AI one.
We'll have our own sanctioning body for rating of barbecue.
We'll turn it into a brand so people can fucking get hot poked with it once they've been rated.
Or they can at least put the marks on the top of their burger buns.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, you ready?
Ready. Oh,
That looks good, eh?
that looks real fucking good.
So this one was sent in to us by Big Smoke Barbecue UK. That's what they called on Instagram. And he says, I couldn't be happier with how this looks. It was a collaboration between myself and the Beefy Boys. Now, I think, don't quote me, but I think the Beefy Boys they have a heap of burger restaurants in the UK. I think they've got like 5 burger restaurants. So this was some sort of collaboration done with Big Smoke Barbecue UK. What's on there?
It's very visually appealing. Well, we've got the classic Texas brisket. We've got the pulled pork. We've got a chopped link there. We've got some cornbread up the top. Nice array of pickles and some sides. That turkey breast looks phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a beautifully put together platter. There's heaps going on, bro.
There's a lot going on. It's a big platter. I feel like it's got enough of the sides there to kind of balance it all out. The brisket looks on point. The turkey looks amazing. The pulled pork looks phenomenal as well. Sausages.
Pork belly brisket style there too with the salt pepper.
Yeah. So this is some video that he's taken. It's not quite exactly the same platter, but he sent it at the same time and it's pretty similar.
My only sort of thing is there's no sides to hold it all together. I'd love like a tortilla or maybe a burger bun or something there just to sort of add a bit of garbage to all this protein.
Well, he's got a little bit of the cornbread up the top there.
Yeah, but I'm a sucker. I like, BYO burgers, that sort of thing. I love sort of making my own little Frankensteins and that sort of thing. And
You're being a bit hard on him. I reckon that's it's rate my platter, not rate my platter with all the fucking cutlery around it and burger buns. All right. Give this thing a rating.
Righto, let's go. 8.7. Still got to save room at the top. I think I went way too hard at the start with good scores.
8.7 is a really respectable score, though, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good-looking platter of barbecue. I think 8.7 is pretty fair. I think you've done him a solid.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Next, we've been sent in two. Like, you're becoming very respected now, right? People are sending these in from all across the world. That one was from the UK. This one's from New Zealand.
It's probably, I don't know. It's all very brown. I'll probably say a 3.
You're an arsehole.
No,
right.
I'm only saying that because I know exactly who this is from. The homie Steve Cook. He's probably thrown a shoe through the TV by now and hitting me in the DMs. But fuck, how good does this look?
Yeah, so it was sent in to us by Stephen Cook. He says, afternoon, lads. Just catching up on the latest couple of episodes. Saw the Rate My Barbecue segment. Thought I'd throw my platter into the mix. It's a sensational platter.
Carnivore's delight. Like you've got the fucking half marrow bones going on. You've got chicken wings. You got links. You got beef ribs. You got pork ribs. Fuck, what haven't you got? The list of what's not on that platter would be shorter than the list of what's on there. But fucking hell, Steve,
there's a huge
absolutely
tomahawk
dominated
on there as well.
There's a tomahawk.
He's got
There's
mushrooms.
a fucking brontosaurus's rib there. You've got some beautifully charred up mushrooms. The cowboy butter to finish it all off. Mac and cheese, slaw. I'm still going to 3.
All right, hang on. Right. Take it seriously now, right? I know you were joking and he's a friend of yours and you gave him a 3 before, but fucking take this seriously. This is a good-looking platter. It deserves a legitimate score. So what are you going to give it?
3. Times 3 equals 9.
Oh, it's 9. 9. It's a well-deserved 9. I think he gets that little bit extra because he's just got so much on this platter and it looks so well cooked.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And these guys do a lot of comp practice and that sort of thing. But also, I mean, they just love fucking barbecue and the social aspect it brings. So there probably would have been some absolute legends sharing this platter with the boys. So fuck yeah.
Well, I'm going to say, though, she's missing some good sides.
Yeah, but you don't need sides, bro, with this amount of meat. But yeah, you're right. You do need, I mean, they've just sort of got the classic sides there with the mac and cheese and the coleslaw, but
I feel like this could have been like a 9.5 if you took away the curly leaf fucking parsley there and put some really quality sides with it.
Well,
but a 9's a good score.
They are. And when people are asking you to rate your platters, then you can put a score up.
I don't going to go, do I? No one can.
Come on, send some in for Jay. We'll have our own fucking scoreboard going on.
I'm in enough trouble with my top 50, right? You can cop some fucking heat for once.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, we ready?
We're ready.
Next segment. We've done this one once before. We're going to do it again. It's called Count the Barbecues.
Right.
Now, I'm going to play a video. You've got to tell me, I think you cheated a little bit last time, but this time around, you've got to tell me what barbecue it is, and if it's a gasser, at least how many knobs it's got. Is it a 4-burner, 3-burner, 6-burner? Is it a flat top? Is it a pellet grill? Is it a drum smoker, right? We need that little bit of clarity.
Context.
Correct, right?
Gotcha.
Okay, ready?
Go. Righto, that's a Traeger. That is a pellet grill. That's one. There's a Weber in the background and a Masterbuilt. There's 2 drum smokers. What the fuck is that thing? That's another thing. That's a gravity-fed Masterbuilt there. There's a Weber kettle there. There's a couple of Smoky Mountains in covers in the back there. There's another drum smoker there. That's a charcoal bin. Fuck, I've lost count. Like let's go 8. Another kettle 9. Another drum 10. Fucking egg or something was under there. He's got all the bits and pieces that go with it. Couple of fridges. Come on, turn around. There's the egg. There's a cabinet smoker. That's another fucking. That's an offset smoker. So we're up to 11. That's a fucking cabinet smoker. That's 12. There's a couple of little Webers there. No, little Acorns, char grillers. Yeah, fucking more Webers. Jesus, is this a fucking shop?
Come on, you're nearly there.
It's like 17.
One more.
Oh, it's another corner. 18, 19. More kettles. Let's say 19. It's so hard to try and talk about what it is and keep a number in your head.
All right. If you watch this at home and you have the ability to pause it, maybe you can go back and you can fact check side there. But I think you did a pretty good job. I was pretty impressed. But you kind of you went way too far.
I forgot to count too.
Yeah, you were at like number 8 before you remembered that you had to count them as well, right?
Yeah.
But that's a lot of barbecues.
It is, but he's got all the toys with it too. Like he had the kettle cone under that Weber there. He's got some different grates for the kettle.
3 fridges.
Yeah. 3 fridges. Good, nice, tidy charcoal. I've got covers for all of them, so he obviously cares for them.
Is that an offset? Yeah.
I think it is an offset.
And that's
a cabinet. Like a fucking.
I would say that's a Myra Mixon.
Or something. Yeah, actually. Yeah, there's some little char griller Acorns there, the little ceramics. A couple more fucking Smoky Mountains.
Well, I reckon there's 3 Weber kettles there because they go in a bit, so I don't think they're Smoky Mountains.
And they're more kettles.
Yeah. It's a lot of barbecues, right?
It is.
So it was sent in to us by Christopher Moore. He features on the show a lot. He sends us a lot of stuff in. I think he works at Big Don's Barbecue in Perth. This is not his backyard, by the way. This is a mate of his called Aussie Tong Masters. That's a lot of barbecues, buddy. I think you got a problem.
Everyone needs a mate like Aussie Tong Masters, I think, because you can go and enjoy these barbecues and your missus isn't giving you the drama.
Yeah, I can hear his wife in the background going, that better not be another fucking barbecue.
Then you just take her in a plate of nice, beautifully smoked meat and she's happy.
Yeah, and she's like, fine, whatever. Just put a cover on them, right? All right, talking points. We're on to that part of the episode now. This is a weird one here. Bear with me, right? Now, I know you're all fancy and you've cooked your steaks in the dishwasher and you went viral and you're on Vice, right? But have you ever cooked a steak on the dashboard of your car?
Not intentionally.
What do you mean not intentionally?
I've probably cooked stuff that I've left in the car for too long. Did it once. I caught a heap of fucking calamari and left it in the boot of my car for 5 days.
Do you know, about a week ago, I went shopping and I bought a whole heap of garlic prawns and I bought other stuff, scallops and things. My dad was over and I couldn't find them. Like I got home, they're not in the shopping bag. They're nowhere to be seen. I went back to the car, I searched the boot, they weren't there either. So I just assumed that somewhere between the cash register, because I knew that I'd paid for them, and the car, I must have dropped them out of the bag because the bag was overflowing. But about 2 days later, they were definitely in the car. They had fallen down this little side section in the car. And I opened the door and I knew that I'd left them in the car. Let's just say that. So moving on, this one was posted by Vic Freeze, and he says, I cooked a steak on my dashboard today. Call me crazy. He goes, it was a perfect medium rare. It was a sirloin steak, and it was absolutely delicious. Today is 99 degrees Fahrenheit, and I made the most of it. What is happening here?
Well, he's obviously got a pre-seasoned steak in a Ziploc bag and he's got it sitting on the dash. And if it's 99F outside and he's got that sitting in the sun without the aircon on, it's probably going to be about 160F where it's sitting.
Yeah?
I reckon.
Okay, well, he's a FedEx driver, so he's a delivery driver. He's in and out. He's put it up on his dash here. He says, if anyone wants specifics, I wet rubbed it overnight with seasonings. I had it sitting out in the truck from 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. And then once I hit my route, I let it sit in the sun on the dash for an hour. Then, very smart here, he flipped it. And then he let it slow cook for another hour and a half. And then he ate it at about 1:30 p.m. And this is what it looked like.
Yeah, I'm not fucking giving that a go though.
He's not winning anyone over with the picture, right?
Photo's nearly moving, bro.
It doesn't look appetizing in the slightest, right? Because it doesn't have any char on it whatsoever. It kind of looks like tuna out of a can. He says this is within the USDA rest period before cooking, if anyone thinks it's gross, like because he left it for 2 hours in the car just on the dash before it even hit any heat. But he said it's well within regulations. Personally, I don't care. Like dishwashers, dryers, whatever you're going to cook in, but this is a step too far for me.
Yeah, it hasn't really got up to a safe temp though, you wouldn't imagine.
Well, it looks cooked.
Oh,
I mean,
well.
it's been stewing in that bag. I can't help but think that the steam from, and it's not even really steam, but the warm liquid has sort of cooked it internally. Do you know what I mean?
It's almost a ceviche.
Okay, moving on. Top 50. It's that time of the episode again, and we are counting down the top 50 most influential people in barbecue today. And that's really important because we don't mean 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. It's the top most influential people in barbecue today. We've got a few rules around this, right? If you've passed, then you're no longer eligible. And if barbecue, like if you don't have charcoal on your hands on a regular basis and barbecue's not your main kind of bread and butter, then we've had to exclude you.
That's exactly right.
We lost some big heavy hitters, didn't we?
We did, but dive a bit deeper into the game, fellas.
And then you might be on our very important list that we have made up.
Probably go broke, but you'll be on our fucking list.
So coming in at number 40 is Jord Athayan, and I really hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He was the winner of the World Champion Whole Hog Barbecue Contest at the Estonian Barbecue Championship. Do you know this guy?
I do not.
He's a really cool cat. He's the co-founder of the Black Smoke Barbecue Restaurants, and they are located in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and then they've got another one in Antwerp in Belgium. And these restaurants are super cool, right? Red neon, dark, moody. They've also got these big open fire kitchens right in the middle of the restaurant. The theming is unreal. You don't see a lot of this anywhere really, like open fire kitchens. The only one I can think of really in the States would be maybe Salt Lick. There's just not that many places that have these fantastic open fire kitchens like you see here.
Well, you could imagine walking into this place in the middle of like a European winter and just the atmosphere hugging you as you walk in the door, because that kitchen with the central fire going on there would just be setting the most ambient tone and just heating the place up beautifully.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to watch your food being cooked, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So, Jord, he's the author of the best-selling Smoky Goodness cookbook series, and I think he's done like 8 cookbooks and counting. The guy is a powerhouse, and I think he has his rightful place up on this list at number 40.
Fuck yeah. The best thing about this list is it's really going to broaden our horizons too, so I'm going to go check this guy out, get my eyes opened into a new realm of barbecue.
Yeah, well, I did meet him. I met him at Truscada. I want to say it might have been 4 or 5 years ago, but he's a really nice guy, super into barbecue. He goes to a lot of barbecue festivals, so he's got great credentials. He's got the restaurants to back it up. He's got the cookbooks to back it up, and he's a real influence in that part of the world.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, next, 39. It's our boy, DJ Barbecue. Christian Stevenson is his name. He started off as a regular face on Jamie Oliver's Food Tube. That's where I came across him anyway, right? So Jamie Oliver was one of the biggest chefs in the world, and his go-to barbecue guy was DJ Barbecue. And since then, I've kind of been following his career, but he's a true barbecue rock star. Like if you had to pick anyone out of this list who epitomizes being a rock star, it's this guy, DJ Barbecue.
Fuck yeah.
So he's written some really cool books. One's called Fire Food. The other one's called DJ Barbecue. And there's another one called Fire Feasts. And I think this is his newest one, Backyard Baking.
Fuck yeah.
So he's a festival icon, right? Like what a legend. Look at him. He's sitting there in an American, what would you call that?
An American
latex
onesie. He's put the socks down the front.
So he's a festival icon, right? He's appeared or he's hosted Taste of London and the Big Feastival. Too many more events to mention. He's the host of his own food travel series, which is called Lost In with DJ Barbecue, and it airs nationally on Destination America.
Fuck yeah. We'll have to get into meat stock, mate.
He's a champion.
He would run the show.
So when it comes to barbecue in the UK, I just don't think many people who are in barbecue would not know who this guy is. He's been around forever. You've probably used some of his recipes. I think he's been a real force in UK barbecue. And he's kind of like, if you ask me, he's the face, the pretty good looking face of barbecue in the UK.
Bit of a man crush, mate.
I do a little bit. He's just, I met him in the UK and you know what? Like sometimes you meet these people. The way I would describe it is if you've been in barbecue for a long time and you've been in TV and you've done restaurants and you've done cookbooks, and people tell you how fantastic you are all the time and they've done your recipes and they want your autograph, eventually it all goes to your head and you probably get, you know, a little bit of an ego. And rightly so. You've probably earned the right to have that ego, right? But he didn't have any of that. When I ran into him, he couldn't have been any nicer and humble. And I think, you know, sometimes when people walk into a room, they're like, oh, look at me, I'm DJ Barbecue. But he didn't come across as any of that. And he has earned his place on this list at number 39.
Fucking oath he has. Well done.
You need to meet this guy.
Fuck yeah.
He needs to come to Meat Stock. That's another story for another day. Okay, number 38. It's Brazil's, I call him the greatest showman of Brazilian live fire cooking. His name is Marcus Levy.
Mate, this is my first should have been higher moment, I reckon, because this guy is influential as in the fact that he's the fucking mad scientist of live fire.
He is. You are 100% right there in your assessment. He's the owner of the historic Parador Hampel. Now, this is a really, really old restaurant with roots in Brazil. It's home to some of the best outdoor live fire barbecue, and also it's home to the best live fire outdoor kitchen in the world. I've said it. Boom, can't take it back. And he owns the place, and he's just like doing things in barbecue that I feel like a little bit crazy and eclectic, but don't get him wrong. He understands barbecue. So he has invented these sort of like viral cooking devices, the way I'd say it. They're the cages that lift up with the fire inside other cages that are wrapped in meat. They're gyroscopes with meat that are spinning. All these crazy ideas, they're his, right? And a lot of people, all these things are going viral, right? I took a video of this and it did 4 or 5 million views. But make no mistake, the guy knows how to cook. Everyone's like, oh, that won't cook. It can cook. The guy can cook. He's a really, really accomplished chef. But this is kind of where he has gone with barbecue. And I think a lot of people pay attention to what he's doing, especially in South America.
Fucking oath they do.
So he's one of the most respected pitmasters in Brazil. He's the headline act. If you go to Churrascada, which me and you said was the best barbecue festival in the world, he is front and center. When you walk in there, boom, there he is, front and center. Marcus Levy, he's always the first thing you see when you walk into Churrascada, and he's doing some crazy shit like this, where he's just basically hanging a whole heap of assorted vegetables and meats over like an open fire grill is the only way that I describe it. And this is like theatre. It's like barbecue theatre.
Fucking oath it is. I'm excited. We need to recreate this but use a Hills hoist, mate.
It does look a little bit like that. I will say the photo doesn't do this any justice. When we got there, if you know what a Hills hoist is, it's like an Australian clothesline. I would say it's 5 times bigger than a Hills hoist. So the scale is actually a lot bigger than what this photo gives it credit for. But all of these things here, if you look really closely, they're all on pulleys. So basically, as you want to cook things more or less, up and down they go. So it's almost like this Ferris wheel of moving meat based on how quickly it's cooking and when you want it ready. And the gyroscopes work in a similar methodology, and so do the fire cages. He's the greatest showman of barbecue. That's what I'm going to call him.
Fuck yeah.
All right, next one. You know this guy. It's Alfregoni.
Oh.
Number 37.
Vamos.
The brave heart of global open fire cooking.
Fuck yeah. Got to meet Al earlier this year. What a fucking legend.
Yeah? You
Yep.
got along? You bonded?
Fucking oath we did. We hugged it out, mate.
Did ya?
He's a good little man.
Little man? Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, Al.
Pull the little joke out there, mate.
All right. He is the founder of the Alfagoni brand. He does Argentinian-style open grills. He's got open fire tools. He's got a range of seasonings under his name as well. He's got 2.5 million followers across Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. He's been the guest pitmaster at Meatstock, Smoke Slam, the Smoke and Fire Festival in the UK. He's got a huge following. He's a great guy. He's the promoter of the Texas Open Fire Meetup in Hondo, Texas, which is the largest gathering of barbecue influencers in the world. I think earlier before I called him the Braveheart of barbecue. When he calls people to action, they come.
Fucking oath they do.
They come from all over.
If you don't follow Al on YouTube, I reckon he's one of the most entertaining guys out there at the moment. Likes to make you realise how simple things actually are. Like he does a lot of stuff where he pulls up on the side of the road one episode and he cooks on a fence, like a barbed wire fence. He's like, you don't need fancy devices, you need heat and protein. And, you know, he stays very true to the live fire aspect where he doesn't trim any of his meat. He cooks it, you know, organically and authentically. Yeah, I've actually been inspired by Al to do this week's On the Menu. So more on that later.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but,
something to look forward to.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, this guy, he's a walking hug.
Yeah, and he's legitimate.
He's fucking great, man.
Okay. Next and last for today's episode, coming in at number 36 is Danielle Bennett, a.k.a. Diva Q.
Yep. And everything I just said about Al, I can double down and say about Danielle because I've met her a bunch of times and I fucking love you to bits.
She's cool, eh?
She's a legend, bro. Another one, you know, the first ever masterclass I went to of hers, first thing I took from it was she was basically just saying, don't be scared of this. Like, yeah, this is a masterclass. I'm going to teach you to do stuff, but it's fucking easy. Like if I can figure it out, you guys can figure it out. Just go out and do it. And she really demystified a lot of stigma about how tricky barbecue can be.
On that, she's the author of Diva Q's Barbecue, and she's been inducted into the American Royal Barbecue Hall of Fame. She's been a special guest pitmaster at more festivals than we have time to list here on this show. We'd run out of memory cards. She's been a competitor on a ton of TV shows and she's hosted the Travel Channel's Barbecue Crawl for 3 seasons. She's a Traeger ambassador and a true badass of the barbecue world. And she has trained, I'm going to say, more people on this planet in person how to barbecue than anyone else.
Yeah, right. That's a big call. But yeah, she's very accomplished on the KCBS circuit too. So she's got a lot of perfect scores to her name. Absolutely smashes out a dessert. A couple of weeks ago, we replicated the best we could her key lime pie on the Traeger. And it was one of the best things we've eaten on here.
Don't quote me on this, but I think she actually claims to have trained 15,000 people how to barbecue. Because she's a Traeger ambassador, right? So she does a lot of classes.
Yep.
She's done tons of demos, but, you know, she's not just getting up on stage and training people. She's basically doing hands-on tutorials where people can get up and close. And I think that's how, like, your experience, right? Those experiences with someone like Diva who demystifies barbecue, who says, if I can do this, you can do this, and look how easy it is, and you're close enough to take it all in, that changes people's lives.
It does. And I mean, this was back in 2022. So, you know, I was only a few years into my barbecue journey and just even hear of a masterclass run by a woman was just like, wow, this is different. And you get there and she absolutely blew the doors off the place, mate. It was fucking unreal.
Yeah, she can hang, yeah?
She can hang, bro.
All right, that's it for today. Top 50 most influential people in barbecue. We are cracking through the list. And just to remind people too, this is not just about your social media reach. You're not influential if you just have social media followers. I mean, that's part of it, sure, but we're taking into account a lot of stuff. Competition results. Do you have cookbooks? Have you been on TV? Do you do classes? Do you do guest appearances? Like all these things combine, I think, to matter. And that's what we're taking into account. So as we start to count down this list, I mean, we've had some ballers already, right? And what have we counted down? 15? We've got 35 to go.
Fucking oath we do, mate. I'm really interested to see where this is going.
I will put money on it that says, and I know a lot of people are like, holy shit, these people probably should be up higher, and they should. But wait till we get to number 1, right? Because there's not that many people from 35 down that many people are going to argue don't earn their right to be there.
Well, it's pretty much like anyone in the top 50 could be in the top 10.
Yeah.
That's how broad it's gotten.
I agree. I agree with you. And I think it is a bit of personal preference. So we're trying to be like, you know, weigh everything up and be fair to everybody, but not easy.
Yeah, it's whoever's bribe was the biggest at the end of the day. Oh, fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
Okay, let's move on. Well, if you haven't been called out yet, right, this is your opportunity.
That's exactly right.
Okay, on to the mailbox. Now, this is a different mailbox.
It's actual fucking physical mail.
It's letters. People are sending us in letters, like old school letters. If you want to send us in something to the show, just DM us. We'll send you our address. And you can send us stickers, you can send us love letters, you can send us bribes, you can send us anything, products to try, merch. If you want us to rep some merch, like a lot of people, they've sent this stuff in, right? Hats, everything. So if you want us to rep your stuff, just send it in, DM us, we'll give you the address. But you've got like a little love letter there.
That's it, mate. Would you like me to read this out?
Yeah, please.
Can we get some lullaby music, please, Vince? G'day, gents. Here's some stickers for you. Try our barbecue rubs. Family-friendly flavour, but not hot. Thanks for the show and everything you do for barbecue. Stuart and Sarah, Lucky Squirrel Barbecue. PTO.
Okay, there's a back there too, hey?
Oh, yeah, it's just info.
Okay. All right, well, this is their rubs. They've sent them in to us on the show. We're going to hopefully get around to using them at some point, so thanks for sending these in. Lucky Squirrel Barbecue, and you've got another letter there as well.
Sure do. We'll just read the top of this one. Hi, legends. First of all, I just want to say your show is absolutely banging. Genuinely one of the best listens out there, and it definitely deserves a top spot in the Australian podcast rankings.
Right, not worldwide, fucking just Australia, right? I think we're the only one.
Hats off to you, fellas. You're killing it.
Okay. All right, well, these are his sauces, and we've tried these already. They're pretty good.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We had the Veronica a couple of weeks ago. We had that on the Spam.
It was good.
So fucking good. The cherry and the apple flavour there just complemented everything we already had going on there, but I've dipped my finger in all of these and they all slap.
All right, I'm glad you loved them. They look pretty cool, hey?
Fuck yeah, they were delicious too.
All right, on the menu, I am hungry. Now, you said you had some sort of Alfregoni-inspired dish, and I'm keen. What the
mate.
hell do we have?
Righto, so if you've ever seen an Alfregoni episode, you know that his Argentinian influence, he loves himself an empanada. And I get sick of fucking watching him eat empanadas and not being able to access good empanadas. So I've done my best today to make my own empanada, but we've given it an Aussie twist. We're doing a pulled lamb shoulder and Tassie potato chimichurri empanada.
Say that again slowly.
So we've got a nice Australian pulled lamb shoulder. We've got some Tasmanian potatoes, and we've added in some chimichurri and encased it in some short crust pastries to create a bastard empanada.
This is amazing.
Mate.
All right, tell me what's going on here.
Righto, so we've got ourselves a nice little, it's only a small lamb shoulder, this one, bit over a kilo, didn't need much trimming. Hit it with some Steph the Maldi's rub one out, which in my opinion is one of the best rubs for lamb out there. We've thrown it in the Traeger up on the top there. I've put the tray that it was in underneath it, and we've smoked it at 250.
Okay.
The reason I've put the tray under it is it's caught all the fat dripping out of the lamb. It's still got some of that rub in there that was the excess from being poured on it. And what I've done later on, once that lamb's hit the temperature and I don't want to have it exposed anymore, I put that in the tray with some beef stock and some butter, and we've steamed it to the finish. Now I've got myself some Tassie spuds that my dad brought up from the motherland a couple of weeks ago. I've diced them up real small, maybe about, less than a cubed centimetre, and I've fried them in some lamb tallow, which I had from the last lamb shoulder I did. I trimmed off the fat and put that in the smoker next to it. And I've sort of half cooked those so they're not too crunchy when you bite into the empanada, and I've put them aside. Once I've pulled the lamb, and it looked absolutely smashing, I've added the potatoes in and a big lick of chimichurri. As you can see there, it's
You make your own chimichurri?
Yeah, mate. I've got what I call the mother chimichurri. I made my first batch about 2 years ago, and it's been in the same container in the fridge ever since.
You just keep adding to it.
Yeah, when it gets low, you just add a heap more parsley, a heap more coriander, some chili, a shallot here and there, and
Never goes off.
never goes off, because the liquid in it, the olive oil, the red wine vinegar, and the lemon juice essentially just keep it all pickled. So
Yep.
yeah, and now I'm not going to lie, I was a bit nervous on this part because I wanted to use my own empanada dough, casings, but I could not be fucked making them. Went to the supermarket, found some short crust pastry with an empanada recipe on the back of the packet. So I was like, fuck, I'll give this a try. got myself a cookie cutter. A few weeks earlier, I jumped on eBay and got an actual empanada folder, so I didn't have to fuck
So you
around
really
too much.
cheated here.
No, mate, not cheated. I was smarter, not harder. So anyway, here we go. I'm trying to fumble around. I've got the camera in one hand and I'm trying to fold an empanada in the other. But yeah, the idea is you get your cookie cutter, you cut out the dough the same size as the folder there. You put the pastry in, you put in about 3/4 of a tablespoon of the lamb mix, fold it up and chuck it in the fucking deep fryer, mate.
And that's it.
That's it. Yeah, not much.
All right. And what did you deep fry them in?
Deep fried them in some good old super fry lard.
Some lard.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, these look absolutely delicious. And lamb. I don't think a lot of people have made lamb empanadas. They're not popular, are they?
I don't think they are. I mean, I did a bit of Googling and there wasn't too many out there. But Al, I want to see you do an under-seasoned lamb empanada.
Right. That's a challenge for you, Al. And I challenge him too to cut up those potatoes as perfectly as you cut them up. I don't know how you had the patience to cut them up so small. You said they were less than a centimetre cube. Bro, I think they were like maybe 3 or 4 mils cubed.
Well, I'm telling you, mate, these Tassie spuds are like this big coming out. So I only needed 3/4 of one potato to do this. So good old Tassie Dutch creams.
Rightio, bring them out because I am absolutely starving and these are hitting all the right notes for me. So I'm excited. Okay, what do we have?
Got some pretty sexy looking empanadas there, bro.
Can you break one of these open for me? Bro, you've done great.
Smoked lamb, Tassie spud, chimichurri, empanada. Cheers.
Cheers. They're the best empanadas I've had in my life.
That's a big call.
It's a big call. I've eaten a lot of empanadas. I've been to Chile. These are the best. Lamb.
Take that. Take
Lamb.
that, Al.
Right, you win. It's done. Everyone else can just pack up. You're making empanadas anywhere, just pack it up. Go home.
I'm not
This is
going
where
in
it's
the
at.
empanada business, mate, because it took me about 40 minutes to fold 11 of those.
Well, I reckon it was worth it.
It fucking was. They're good.
They're delicious. Whew. All right, let's move on to the encore. It is the end of the show, and I've got this one.
Jesus, I thought this was from your personal collection there for a minute. What's she going to do with that? She's going to stick it to the mirror and put on a show? Oh, fuck, Jay's getting a phone
Hello.
call.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about it. I'll be home in a second. I'm just
Righto.
doing a podcast with
This is
Ty.
this is your chance to like, comment, subscribe, all those sorts of things. Yeah, hope you're enjoying it. Send it in if you've got something cool to say, and catch you next Tuesday.